Hey, hello, everybody. This is the Supporter Creatives podcast. And to say hi to those watching us live, as well as those who will be watching the replay. Going to acknowledge those people also. Okay. So let me introduce myself. I'm Alan Greenstein. I'm the founder of Supporter Creatives. The goal of my organization is to give the same opportunities to typically underrepresented demographics that everybody else does. So everybody has an equal chance of getting their works created and seen. In addition to that, I'm on the board of directors of the Bella Levy Foundation. The goal of the Bella Levy Foundation is to fight human trafficking and provide a safe haven for its warriors. So I'm so happy tonight to have as our guest Arlyne Spalla. Yeah. She calls herself a passionate performer, an athlete, and a role model. And let's have her introduce herself, and let's find out what that all means. So, Arlyne, go for it.
Hi, everybody. Oh, and by the way, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
So I have been working in the fitness industry as a personal trainer, fitness instructor for goodness, 35 plus years. That's one of the main things that I do. I also am a performer. I'm an actress, dancer, and performer. And that's what I spend the majority of my time doing.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about your role as in fitness and as a personal trainer. How did you get into that line of interest?
I was an athlete growing up. I was a gymnast, a cheerleader, and I started going to a fitness club when I was 19 years old. I was doing just hours of classes, and then the lady who was in charge came up to me and said, "Hey, would you actually like to teach since you're here all the time?" And it just snowballed from there. It was just such a passion of mine, and it keeps me in shape, and I get to be a role model for other people, and I teach a wide variety of different formats and classes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. And well, do you specialize in any kind of fitness, or is it general?
Yeah. So, well, like the classes that I teach a regular boot camp class, 2 boot camp classes a week. I've actually had people that were trying to get into the military that took my class so they could pass the test for the military, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty tough class. I do Zumba, which is, Latin dance. It's one of my passions. I teach a suspension training, which is called TRX. I do cardio kickboxing, cycle, aqua aerobics, senior classes, and cardio sculpt classes.
Wow, that's amazing. So many different specialties there.
Yes, different specialties.
Yeah. I mean, for the people that work with you, is there any special kind that they favor more than others, or do you find that people are interested in all those various disciplines that you just mentioned?
Oh, the people that come to my classes?
Yeah, people come to your classes, yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes there's crossovers, but there's like only a certain small group of people that will actually do a boot camp class because you have to be pretty athletic. And then there's a certain group of people that come to Zumba because they're people that either can't dance or don't like to dance. So yeah, so it's different groups of people that say, "Hey, I like to do cardio kickboxing. I'll do that, but I'm not going to do water aerobics because I don't want to get into a bathing suit."
Okay,
Yeah.
very interesting. Yeah. And do you want to give a shout out to the places that you work?
Sure. I've been working at the YMCA in Yorktown, Virginia for, drum roll, 18 and a half years.
Wow.
In one place. Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
it's like a family there. I love it. And the people that go there and the friends that I've made there has been incredible.
Yeah. So do you get a lot of people from word of mouth, or do you do any do you go out and actually advertise for your services?
I don't. The members come to the Y, and then I've had people that just try my class, and some of them have been following me for years just because we established this bond and this rapport, and they Usually people take a fitness class either because they just really bond with the instructor or they just really like that type of class. So a lot of these people have been coming to my class for 18 years. So yeah, it's
Well, I mean
pretty great.
that's amazing. Yeah, I mean the fact that you have that longevity with not just your being in the fitness industry, but the fact that you have people who have worked with you for all these many years. I think that's really a great compliment to your abilities.
Right. And I don't know if I told you this, Alan, but I lived in Italy and I actually
Mm.
taught fitness classes in Italy in Italian. So
Oh,
yeah, and when I came back to the States, I couldn't remember how to cue in English because I'd been teaching it in Italian. So yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that in Italy.
yeah. So there's we see on a lot of TV shows, you see scenes where people are in the fitness classes and stuff like that. I mean, is it really like that, or is it
That's
different?
fake. I kind of laugh at that stuff, like when people are pretending to run on TV or the fitness stuff, because I don't really think those people work out.
Well, that's very possible. Yeah, yeah. You always wonder about something like that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's move on to another subject, and we can always come back to fitness later if you have anything more to say about it. We can circle back. Okay.
Okay.
So okay. Before we get into the specifics of what you do as an entertainer, tell us how you got into entertainment in the first place.
Oh boy. Well, I guess, back in high school, I was in drama. I did drama. Then I got out of it. Well, I started doing fitness. Like we just talked about how I was a fitness instructor, and I felt like that's kind of acting in a way. But seriously got into it about 12 years ago because I have 4 kids, and I kind of waited till my kids were older to get back into it. Um, when I started working with June DeGuizo, and about that time also started working at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia. And that's how I started. It's always been a passion of mine, a dream of mine to be an actress and a performer. And I kind of just fell into it. And working with June in his movies kind of gave me the confidence to try to see what I could do at Busch Gardens. And it snowballed. I have gotten to do amazing things there.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
just seemed like it was natural to me.
Oh, that's
It starts with passion. If you don't have a
yeah.
passion for it, you're not going to be good at it, right?
Yeah. Well, that's true. Now, are you primarily involved with making films with June, or have you made films with other people
Yes,
besides?
I've made films with several other people. He's just the person that I've worked with the longest and the most, and he's just so great to work with, and I love the people that work with him, that the actors in his films. So if I'm available to be in one of his movies, I will be in it.
Yeah. And lo and behold, there's June now. Hi,
Ta-da!
June. I'm sure you see we were just talking about you. Yeah. I met June maybe around probably 2 or 3 years ago, and because there was one I was asked if I wanted to be in a scene in one of his films. So that was kind of the beginning, and ever since then I've been associated with a whole bunch of June's films. I started out as being an executive producer on his films,
Yes.
but in addition to that, I've actually been doing and my wife Randy have been doing acting in numerous June's films, and some the some more significant than others, but still I've gotten my biggest acting experience, and I actually this is something I never planned to do, but but June gave me the biggest opportunity for me to do that, and I've done some acting also with other producers, but I've done most acting work with June. Yeah, so
Yeah.
and yeah, and I say that and that's how I met Arlyne through June.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've met
So
so many wonderful people through June. And the way that I met June is because my children were in acting and they had a manager,
mm,
and my son's manager called me and said, there's this movie producer named June DeGuizo, and there was supposed to be a boy that was in this movie and he dropped out. Would your son be in it? Anyway, I drove my son to be in this movie, and June said, hey, would you like to be in the movie too? And it all started there.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, let me tell you, we're gonna be talking some more about your acting and the various places that you have acted. But first, we're gonna have a brief commercial message, and we'll be right back. I'm Alan Greenstein, founder and producer at Support Our Creatives. At Support Our Creatives, I offer a number of services to support those developing a project. Check out the services tab of my website at supportourcreatives.com. If you are interested, please use the contact tab on my website or email me directly at alan@supportourcreatives.com. Okay, we're back. Okay, so let's continue the discussion. So you've done live theater as well as film?
Yes. And so before I started at Busch Gardens, I worked with a local guy named Ronald Lindsay, who had a group called LAMP, Laughter is Medicine Production, comedy being my favorite. For about 3 years, we performed in various areas in my location in Hampton Roads, and performed comedy skits. My daughters were involved. And it's just strange how things work out, because that experience actually helped me get my job at Busch and helped me with all the movies I've been in since. Because when you do live theater, you don't get a do-over. If you make a mistake, you have to keep going.
Yeah.
So,
right.
yeah. And the job that I'm doing now at Busch Gardens is basically live theater.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your experience at the theme parks. First, can you just explain to me what a scare actor is?
My first job at Busch Gardens, I was scare acting. And so for 2 months, every year at Busch Gardens, they hire scare actors. And throughout the park, they place these actors, and depending how some people are not naturally actors, so they'll just like put you behind a door and you have to bang on the door. But those of us that are actually actors get to actually perform and scare. So I've been doing that for 9 years, and my favorite character ever that I've always wanted to be was Medusa. So I've got my Medusa necklace on. For the past 3 seasons of Howl-O-Scream, I have gotten to be Medusa, which has been the best ever. Yeah.
Amazing.
So, yes, I've gotten to play some really great characters.
Yeah. Okay. So, can you tell me about what's the auditioning process when it comes to working as a performing actor at the theme parks?
Well, it depends on what it is. And for the job that I do, for example, for scare acting, you have to, they'll take you in groups of 10, and you have to they'll tell you to make a certain noise, or they'll say, I want you to say this phrase, I'm going to get you. And you say it however you want, like, I'm going to get you, right? So you're going to say it in a scary way. You have to get in different positions and crouch and just show them how you can scare people or scream in different ways, nonverbal stuff. For the job I do at Sesame as a Muppet, you have to really be athletic. So you have to do a fitness test. You have to do a lot of nonverbal stuff, because you can't talk when you're in the costume, and you have to be able to dance. So you have to be able to, they teach you a dance, and you got to pick it up just like that and do it. For my job as an actress, you have to turn in a reel that's 2 to 3 minutes and something comedic. And I usually make up my own. And yeah, so it's all different depending on what you're auditioning for.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I don't. Did you? I don't remember if you mentioned that the Busch Gardens that you were is the one in. Where's that in? Where is that located?
In Williamsburg, Virginia.
Williamsburg.
Yeah, the
Okay.
historic triangle. Yeah, and I want to say, even though I've been there for 10 years, I still have to audition. Every year I have to re-audition. They make everybody, actually 3 times a year I have to audition. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So do you work year round in doing this?
Yes, I work year round at Busch.
Okay. Well, at least during the part of the year that Busch is open, because I don't think they're open all
It's
year
open
round.
year round, and
Oh, it is.
I
Wow.
I am so blessed as an actress to be able to be working as an actress full time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
see, it's also like January through March, it's not very busy.
Okay.
So there are different times a year, like in the fall, we're very busy. So in the
That
summer.
makes sense around Halloween and all that. Yeah. And so I get the impression that you play different characters throughout the course of the year,
I
not just
do.
Medusa, right?
Right. I have probably played maybe 15 different characters over the past 10 years that I've been there. I honestly, I can't even keep track. I've had, well, the show that I'm in right now, the scripted improv comedy show that I'm in now, I play 4 different characters.
Wow.
At Sesame, I did like 4 different characters. I've done other characters throughout the park. I've done commercials. I'm actually, and I don't think I told you this, but I'm the voice in one of the roller coasters.
Wow.
Yeah, one of the newest roller coasters. It's in Germany, and I do a really scary German accent. So when you're in there, you're like listening to my voice, which is weird.
Okay, so you are heard all over the world, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one year I played the witch for Hallow Scream. I was the main character of the whole season, and my voice, and I had to make up my own language. So I had
Oh,
my own language that I studied and I planned and I spoke in, and my voice would be piped out all over Busch Gardens in my scary made up witch language.
wow.
That
That is amazing.
was amazing. And yeah, my daughters worked there at that time, and they said, "Mom, if I hear your voice one more time, I'm going to scream."
Oh, that's appropriate. Yeah. Okay, so you've made up your own language.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really something. And yeah, I was reading something about that recently, about people, about situations where people make up their own languages because of the role, in a movie or something like that. Yeah, and
Yes.
and it says that you were heard all over the world speaking this language that you made up.
Yeah. And just to be, I mean, I don't want to over exaggerate. I did not speak fluently. Like, I had a whole bunch of different phrases that I said. So it's not like I spoke constantly in this. So it sounds harder than it was. It was hard, but it was basically phrases that I made up. So yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing. Now, what is that? What is the Halloween show called at Busch Gardens?
Oh, it's called Hallow Scream, and they hire about 300 scare actors. I've had so many stories. Let me tell you, I should write a book on I have been
Yeah.
I've been punched in the face,
Ooh.
in the neck, shoved, kicked. Yeah, they really, some of the guests can be pretty brutal.
Oh boy. Wow.
When I scare them, they get mad, so they punch me.
Yeah. Okay. Now, tell me about Billy Hassebier. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, Billy Hassebier is my German woman that I play. So these Hassebier means hates beer. So the funny thing about this show is that I work in, these are Germans who own a bar, but we hate beer. We hate beer. And anyway, it's an hour-long comedy show where we include the guests, and it's the best job I've ever had. I just love it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So I get to wear the German dirndl and speak with a German accent. I have to be able to speak some German. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah. Now, you mentioned about Sesame. You were with
Yes.
them? Yeah. So, what city is that in where you perform
Oh,
that?
it's right at Busch Gardens. It's part of Busch Gardens,
Oh,
yeah.
it's actually part of
Yeah,
Busch Gardens
it's
also.
called the Forest of Fun,
Oh, it's the fun. Okay.
where the
Yeah.
Sesame Street characters live. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And,
And yeah. Okay. And which character are you typically? Which
m
Sesame character?
my main character was Grover. So, when I
Oh,
first started
okay.
playing Grover, I had to figure out how to move like a man, right? Because he's a boy. So that
Yeah.
was interesting. And learn all of his characterizations and mannerisms. And I feel like I am Grover sometimes, actually. I played Grover there longer than anybody did. And yeah, and that's where the athleticism comes in, because if you can imagine wearing a 20-pound costume and you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
dance in it and then it's hot, you have to be athletic to be able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I've always wondered about too. How the performers can actually stay in there like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. So do you ever speak while you're in the costume?
Not at Sesame, because the Sesame Street characters cannot talk. When we're dancing, there's music piped, and we have a little mech where we see through the mouth, and we have like a bicycle handle that works the mouth. So their voices are going, but our personal human voices are not.
Okay,
We're
I
not
got
allowed
it.
to talk. Yeah.
Okay, I got it. So therefore, they're playing recorded music and the recorded voices, and you're in a sense reacting to that,
Right.
dancing appropriately.
Otherwise, it ruins the magic of, because we're supposed to be real Muppets. So we
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
use our real voices.
yeah. Well, yeah, I feel like you're giving away some trade secrets here. Now,
I
yeah.
know. Hopefully, no little kids are watching this program right now.
Uh-oh. Well, hopefully not. But yeah, it's just that I'm always it's in the process. Okay, so there you go. So that yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you definitely have to dance, know how to dance with the right moves and everything, and you have to move your mouth the way that the voice of the character is coming, the recorded voice is coming, and all that. Got it.
It's very technical. It's very difficult. You can only see about this much, so your line of vision is really small, and you're really hot, and you're dancing with 4 other people, and you have to be in the right place at the right time. It's really difficult.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, just the choreography
Just the
itself
choreography and then doing it in a
is be
costume.
difficult, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really think about people who have to sing and dance at the same time when you go to some concert, for example.
Well, quite honestly, I am more than twice as old as all the other people. So I'm getting a little bit too old to be doing it, frankly.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Are you ever in any parades that go around Busch Gardens?
We don't really have any parades.
Oh, no parades? Okay.
Not at that Bush. No, not at the one I work at.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering because that's another thing in itself, if you have to be performing as part of a parade. Okay. But
No parades.
no parade in this case. Okay, okay. Let's see. Yeah. So let's see. So let's go back and talk about the some of the films that you've been in. You mentioned, you've been obviously been a bunch of films with June. And tell us about the film that you did. It has to do with let's see. Oh, well, let's talk about your passion about talking about fighting domestic violence. That's going to lead into that next question.
Yeah, so I I unfortunately experienced it myself. And the thing is the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And it's sad to see when some people go through really difficult things, it kind of it can make you really go one way, which is a really bad way, or another way, which makes you stronger, and then can make you a role model because you've been through it and you can share your experience with others. Several years ago, I met a local movie producer, Jasmine Deanne Andrews, and she lives in Hampton, Virginia, near me. And she was doing a public service announcement about domestic abuse, which is a passion about for her. She also did a movie about it, which I starred in. And so I got to be part of that and an article, and just share my experience. And I think it's really profound to be able to help other women, because when I was in that situation, I was just so like, you don't even realize what's going on. You're so depressed, and you have no self-esteem, and you just don't know how you're going to get out of it. So I've been able to talk to other women about it and help them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's one of the things that makes you a role model, because you are
I think
helping
so.
people who have experienced some of the same things. And so, so you say you were in a film that was produced by Jasmine about having to do with domestic
Yeah,
violence.
she's done several films. Well, we did Natalie's abortion, and that one was about a woman who got raped. Well, that was me. And honestly, I'm forgetting the other film. If she's watching, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the other film. But I actually won an acting award. Yay, I won an acting award at the WMIFF, the World Music and Independent Film Festival, run by June DeGuizo. I won Best Actress in the DMV for that role, which was one of the highlights of my life.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if I can plug this right now, Alan,
Yes.
I am one of the hosts of the WMIFF every year. I've been doing that for several years, and that is such an honor, and I absolutely love doing that.
Yes. And tell people when the WMIFF is being held in 2025 and
Yes,
where.
it is. Oopsie. It is the first weekend in May, which is May. I have to look on my calendar. I'm sorry. May 3rd. It's May 3rd. And June, if you're listening, it's in Northern Virginia.
Yes, it's actually in Herndon, Virginia.
Herndon, there we go.
Yeah, I wanted to give you the opportunity to do the plug. Yeah, it's in Herndon, Virginia. I mean, I've gone there already a couple of times. I'll be going again, of course. And
that's where I think that's where I first met you last year, or the year before. It was the year before at the WMIFF. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, a great place for networking, by the way.
Absolutely, it is. And he brings in like, he has a fashion show, brings in models too, and people and singers and dancers. So it's a great platform.
Yeah. So I'll say hi to Randy. She's here.
Hi, Randy.
Yeah. And so let's see. Yeah, and by the way, I met Jasmine originally at the WMIFF as well.
Oh yes, she's a lovely person.
Yeah, and she's been on my show in the past, by the way. So check out the episode when you get a chance.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Tell us about let's see, some of the other films that you've been in, whether it be with June or with somebody else.
Well, I really enjoyed doing the Serial Madness movies with June.
Yeah,
I've gotten to be killed several times in his movies, and I got axed to death. I hung myself in one of them, so that was pretty interesting. Let's see. Okay, so the last movie I did with Jasmine was called Then Sings My Soul, and that was a really great movie about a girl who was being sexually abused by her stepfather. And I got to play the defense attorney, and that was a very interesting role for me. I enjoyed that. I've done some things with Joelle Roman, who actually was my acting teacher. Let me think. I have done, oh boy, I can't even keep track of it.
But that's okay. I mean, it's nice that you pointed out a couple of them, and but one thing is to realize is that you have done a lot of work in film.
Yes, I've been able to do a lot of stuff in film, and it's just been incredible.
Yeah.
And I even get to do some behind the scenes stuff with June.
Oh, like what?
Well, like film with the camera.
Oh, cinematography. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know what? I think it's fun behind the scenes too. I really like it. And
Yeah.
like helping him figure, assisting him, assistant director. I love doing that. So, not just being in front of the camera, but I think behind the camera is really exciting too.
Yeah, well, I've had experience like that as well, working with different producers, different, like I've been like production assistant or a script supervisor. I got the opportunity to hold the big boom mic, all kinds of,
Oh yeah, I got to hold the boom. Yes.
yeah, right, and so not everybody uses that, but so I've had the opportunity to work behind the scenes, quite a bit in various films over the years. So it's different. It's fun. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. I see that. Oh, you see on the screens that the Washington Dulles Marriott Hotel is where the WMIFF is going
Yes,
to be
that's it.
held. Yeah.
It's in my phone. I just couldn't remember.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, but anyway, so there it is. It's be held the weekend of May 3rd and everything. So you know, people can check out WMIFF website and learn all
Yes.
about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay. You mentioned to me one time that comedy is your thing, and why is that?
Uh, well, I don't know if I can say it that it's what I'm best at. Probably it is what I'm best at now because I've been doing it at Busch Gardens for several years now. And because I work in an environment that is so much fun and I work with comedic actors that literally have me on the ground in tears because I'm laughing so hard. And what a fun thing to do. I mean, there are people that hate their jobs. They sit in little cubicles with no windows, and I get to do what I love, and people make me laugh. And I get to see firsthand how I impact guests in my show, how I can just make somebody laugh or make somebody's day. And that's pretty special. And I think I've really gotten a lot better at it because the timing is so important with comedy. And
Yeah.
also when you're doing it live, you have to sometimes the guests get out of hand. The
Oh,
people in the audience get out of hand. And if you say your line and they miss it, they miss it. So you can't
yeah.
be saying your line when they're laughing at the last thing that you said. So you get it's all in the right timing. And
Yeah.
it's
That makes
just
sense.
it's just fun because like even though we have a script, we get to make up jokes and make up different we get to add, in other words, improvise to the already scripted show. And that's pretty amazing. It's actually a speakeasy, by the way. This is a speakeasy that I work at.
A speakeasy,
A
yeah.
speakeasy, and it's the only thing like it, really, at a theme park where and we're the only show where that's making money because people have to pay extra for this show.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
because we can only have 20 people in the show. It's reservation only.
Oh, wow. That's really special.
Yeah. So when you're doing comedy, you really have to be very clever with how you talk to people. You have to be able to size them up, and because certain things that you say might not come off as funny, you know what I mean? You might offend people. So you got to do it in the right way. So when I'm teasing people on the show, I have to really make sure I'm doing it in a fun way that doesn't come off as offensive.
Oh, well, there you go. That takes a lot of talent to be able to know, to be
Yeah.
able to do that sort of thing. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
every show, the thing is, like with what I do, every show is different. It's always a different show because you have different people in there. But that's live that's live theater for you.
Oh yeah.
So it's
That's amazing.
always something different and playing off different people. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna take a break for another brief commercial. Okay, and we'll be right back. I'm Alan Greenstein, founder and producer at Support Our Hashtag Creatives. If you make something, albeit make a movie, start a business, write a book, make a physical product, run a nonprofit, promote people, are a songwriter, etc. You too are a creative, and I would love to have you be a guest on the Support Our Hashtag Creatives podcast. If you want to be featured on this podcast, please use the contact tab on my website at supportourcreatives.com or email me directly at alan@supportourcreatives.com. Okay, we are back. Okay, now, tell me about the role of Minerva. You mentioned that you play Minerva. Tell us about that.
Okay, so Minerva is the goddess of wisdom. And when we had a roller coaster that was built brand new called the Pantheon, and it kind of got sidetracked during COVID, but that's another story. But anyway, that they wanted to promote the roller coaster, so they needed actors to play two gods and a goddess, and they chose me. Which was great. And so I did this whole promotional live Facebook feed promotion. Plus I did an actual real commercial that was on TV, and that was a lot of fun. But the opening day of that roller coaster, they gave me a script as Minerva. And this was one of the things that made me the most nervous, because I had to get up and speak. I had my goddess costume on, and I had this script I had to memorize and say it in front of the park president, the mayor of the town, some politicians. This was like a huge grand opening of this big roller coaster at the park. Yeah, that was pretty nerve-wracking for me. But yeah, so that was just, I didn't play Minerva for very long. It was like 3 or 4 times to promote the roller coaster. But on the roller coaster, it's got the face of Minerva. It's not really me, but that is my character. So it's kind of like me. So
yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's go circle back to your fitness and personal trainer stuff. Tell us about what you did on the recent cruise that we all took with June, when we were shooting various films. I know you were very active with promoting fitness on there.
Oh, yeah. You want to know about my own fitness regime, or do you want to talk about what I do with my clients?
Tell us how you influence people on the cruise to want to participate with you.
Well, yeah, so I did go to the gym on the cruise every morning, and so I did end up bringing along some other people, which it's when you're working out on a cruise and the ship is moving, you kind of get a little dizzy. But this is one of the ways I'd like to think I consider myself a role model, because I am always trying to encourage people to exercise and eat healthy. And I often get that question from people: what do I eat? What should they eat? What should they do for working out? And it's not a one size fits all. Everybody's different. So I have to sit down with somebody and find out a lot of stuff about them before I can even answer that question. As a personal trainer, that's what I do. I design a program for them based on their interests, what they like, their favorite time of day to work out, just everything about the person, so I can figure out what's going to work best and, how motivated a person is.
Yeah. Well, based upon what I've heard, is that I think you had a very positive influence on the people on the crews that were getting up early every day to
Oh,
work out with you.
oh, well, that's wonderful. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to ask you about that.
It's
Yeah.
hard if you're not a morning person, but I'm a morning person. I like to work out
Me,
early.
me too. Yeah, I'm also a morning person. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, then. So what advice do you have for people who would like to emulate what you do in any of your interests?
Well, I think I said this earlier. One of the things is it really does start with passion. Um, are you doing something for the right reason? Like, do you have this burning passion to do something? And I was always athletic growing up. I mean, obviously that was ingrained in me. I was jumping all over the furniture when I was 2 years old. So my mom got me into gymnastics. I was a gymnast, and that led to teaching classes. And if somebody told me they wanted to do it, I would ask them, well, you have to enjoy working out. Obviously, you have to enjoy people, and you can't just do it for yourself, like, because I want to be fit. You have to really want to help people. As far as the performing in the industry, the other side of the industry that I'm in, the performing, you got to try out different things. Like, can you dance? Maybe you're not a dancer. Can you sing? Well, you don't really have to be a singer. I can sing, but I don't consider myself a singer, but I do sing in the show. You have to get as much experience as you can. You have to do stuff for free. So if you're getting into the industry, you want to be an actress, you gotta you can't just start jumping into movies. You have to maybe be in the movie, but just as an extra, and learn as much as you can. So you got to
Yeah.
start somewhere and build your resume, experience, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah. So when I started out at Busch, I wasn't getting the best roles at Busch. I had to pay my dues and work my way up and get the experience. And starting with June, my roles got bigger because he saw that I could do it, and he had to see how I was as an actress. So yeah, and like I would ask somebody, like, well, who is your role model? Like who's your favorite actress? And try to focus on one thing. Do you like comedy? Do you like horror? And try to stick with that track.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that the younger you start, the better. I mean, I kind of got into the game a little bit later, but I am here to tell you it's never too late.
Yes. I can relate to that because I'm a late bloomer
Late
also.
bloomer, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had a whole life before I even got into this. So,
Yeah. Oh, very good. Well, thanks for that advice. Of course, people I can relate to that. People will be able to relate to that.
yeah,
That's
because you can want to do something, but you try it, and you put your heart and soul into it and your passion into it. And I think if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's not meant to be, it won't be. But you got to put the work in. It doesn't just happen.
yeah. Well, that's amazing. I mean, the advice that you just gave, great golden nuggets of advice in both the fitness area and the acting area. Fantastic, and it really exciting to see all the great things that you have done that you love to do, of course. So how can people get in touch with you relative to the fitness side of things, more, predominantly?
Well, I am on Facebook, Arlyne Spalla. I'm on
Oh,
Facebook. Um, I'm at the YMCA in Yorktown, Virginia. But like if somebody wanted like fitness information, they could go on Facebook and message me. Yeah.
okay, very good. So Facebook, Arlyne Spalla, and message her. You want to learn more about what she does in fitness and possibly work with her in fitness. That's the way to go. Fantastic. Well, I'd like to thank Arlyne. Oh, before I do that, we see that Jasmine has posted.
Is she on?
Yeah, well, yeah. See, I'm posting her right now. It says she says Arlyne Spalla with a heart.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, right. Can you see it?
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured you'd be able to see it. Yeah. So there you go. And hi, Jasmine. Can't wait to see you at the at the gala.
Yes, I can't wait.
Yeah. Okay. So so I'd like to thank Arlyne Spalla for being on. I think we've learned a lot about her too. Kind of unrelated facets. Well, maybe they are related: fitness and entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
they didn't seem to be, but in the way I made it work, they definitely are intertwined.
yeah, yeah. So as I said, thanks, Arlyne, for being on. I'd like to point out that the episode is going to be repurposed and will ultimately turn up on Spotify as well as some of all your favorite streaming platforms. So be on the lookout for that, and please remember to tune into my subsequent shows, and you can see all my previous shows on Spotify and stuff like that. So with that, I'm going to say good night,
Thank
everybody.
you, Alan.
Here's a message about Crystal Starnes, advocate for victims, and podcaster.
Are you an entrepreneur, actor, music artist, or someone trying to make a difference in the community, or have a story that could help someone suffering in silence? If your answer is yes, then you need to check out Crystal Starnes' various podcast shows that she produces and hosts. Come on one of her shows and make a difference. Promote your business on her platforms. Ask her about package deals to get your brand more noticed. Want a commercial about your business done by her voice? She also offers package deals for that service. You can find her at crystalstarnshow.com and voiceforvictimsradio.com. Also, if you want access to all her podcast shows and blogs, join her community awareness page for just $4.99 a month. That's right, just $4.99 a month. Then you would have access at a click of a button to her various platforms. Crystal Starnes is trying to make a difference for all people in the world. She wants to help as many people as she can so no one is suffering in silence. Anyone who has a vision and wants to achieve their dream, she has a passion to help promote you to get you to the next level of success.